And this stack is a pre-war card that hasn't sold in over 10 years. It has a really cool story. Let's go take a look at my mail day for this last month. All right, so we're starting off with this WG Grace. I don't know who Tom Robertson is. I tried asking a few different collectors and they are unsure as well. So if you do know, please let me know. If you're unfamiliar with cricket, Dr. Grace is kind of like a Babe Ruth of the sport. Also like a huge pioneer, played for like 40 years or something like that. Saw this one pop up, never saw the imagery before and decided to grab it. So kind of cool on that side of things. A Eric Clapton. Now, in my opinion, I think this is like a 68, 69, 70, like around that range. When I first bought it, I'm not sure exactly what year they presented this as. This is Polydor. Some of you guys know the other Polydor music cards. They kind of look like T206 size, but they also have quite larger cards earlier on. Dating on them, there's just very little information on these, and they're pretty large as well. But I saw this Clapton and grabbed it right away because I've never seen this imagery before and I thought it was really, really cool. And that's just a printed on auto, guys. I wish Clapton signed it, but definitely not the case. And then up next, we have the Beach Boys. So I do listen to some of Eric Clapton's material. Beach Boys, not so much, but they're extremely popular in the 60s and early 70s. And I know they do tour, but not all the members are still there in the band. And you guys can see the back on the full set. So I actually wanted this Dixie Dean for a while in here, and it's not a super expensive card. I think it's like his second produced. Card has pretty sharp corners, but there's one down there that's unfortunately damaged. Otherwise, it's presents extremely well. I got to research it and see if there's any other important figures within soccer/football in here, but picked this up relatively cheap. Keep the Dean, and then I'll sell off the rest most likely. And here is what the backs on these look like. Another set, well, this was a partial set. I ended up picking up 1922 Boys Magazine. Now this has a few different Hall of Famers in here. The reason why I really bought it though is this Jack Dempsey. It's actually one of his more expensive cards, definitely early on within his career. Probably about 1/2, 2-ish grade. They do have some stains on it, but still for the price I paid for it, could not go wrong. Carpentier over here, which is a really famous French fighter. He was also like a cinema star or something like that. A few other names on here too. So I have a gift. This is actually from Orlando. If you guys missed his full Goodwin Champ set on the personal collection, make sure to click the live tab on the channel and check that out. And he actually sent me some stuff, so I'll show you guys what he sent it to me. First, when he was in Tampa, he ended up seeing the Rolling Stones at Tampa Stadium all the way back in 1989. Way before I was born. I thought this was really cool. So you guys can see how much of a price difference this is. He paid $29. When I saw the Stones, I don't remember when I saw them, like 3 years ago or something like that in Jacksonville. I paid $150 for field, maybe $200. Either way, it was a really fun concert. I think the Revival is also open. But either way, this was his ticket back from the day. And 98 Rock is still there. So grew up listening to that radio station, went to 98 Rock Fest. So really, really cool. And then also, he sent me a Goodwin Champs. So I'm not too familiar with this guy, but I'll definitely have to dive in and research him a little bit more. And the imagery on this one is really, really strong. The corners also look pretty sharp, but there's paper loss, and that's why I got the 1.5. At the end of the day, the front image matters more to me. So Orlando, thank you very much, and make sure you guys give him a subscribe on YouTube, A Collector's Dream. Really, really good content on there, and you guys are going to learn quite a bit. This stack over here, and we're getting really close also to this really, really rare card that I picked up. But another rare card over here. This is a Carson's Chocolate of Thomas Edison. I wish I could give you guys more information on this set or the dating on it. I kind of struck out when I was trying to research it, but I saw this. I actually have another writer in the set, which is pretty popular. We have this really cool Robert Plant card. I think this is 1974. This was released in Ukraine. Not many Ukraine cards still out there. And you can see I think it's Crass. I don't know how to pronounce it, but as soon as I saw this one listed, bought it right away. Definitely has a lot of creases in it, but you have to think about the scarcity on these. And this is just not something you're going to find at a card show. Love card shows, but this type of stuff, you gotta got to dive deep into the trenches to be able to find this type of stuff. Next, we have an early Van Halen card. I think I already have one of these in a lot worse condition. Not too sure, but Super Exito. This is actually a pretty rare Doors card. I think the dating on this is 1970, when the last cards before Jim Morrison passed away. You can see this was printed in Barcelona. It's the Door. The collector who ended up selling this actually upgraded to a really, really nice copy. And when I eventually get him on the personal collection, he'll show you some of his music cards. Definitely one of the guys I look up to on that side of things. So he finds some really, really cool stuff. I also bought this card off of him. This is the ABBA rookie card. I'll be honest with you guys, don't listen to ABBA, but they've inspired bands that I listen to, especially like some Swedish bands. No, I've heard Ghost mention ABBA quite a few times, and some of the melodic death metal bands also, funny enough, mentioned them. One of the best cyclists of all time. I was actually able to pick this up quite under comps. The reason why is there's like a sticky note on here, and they just peeled off the sticky note and right away. So I think the seller either left it on or someone sold it to the seller with the sticky note and you didn't want to take it off. It does have a crease on here, but either way, I wanted to have one of these. Eventually, I will upgrade to a nicer copy, but I think it was 30 bucks. Why not, right? Here's some other Carson's chocolates that I got in here. I'm not going to go through all of them, but not really in good shape compared to that Edison. So I'll end up selling all these other ones. So if you're trying to build a set or you want some cool non-sports stuff, hit me up. This is a set I discovered this week. So these are from 1978, and it's kind of a weird edge case. I don't know if 78 is a rookie card for Bob Marley or he is a 77. The reason is there's the Edith jeans and also a Swedish, I think it's called Samalsker. Now the Edith jeans, they were released anywhere from 78 through 80 based off of dating. I've heard a lot of different music experts proclaim different years. So I got to do a little bit more research on that to determine that. Samalskers, I'm probably butchering that, but the dating is completely wrong. They were from like 74 through like the early 80s, and it's based off of the number on there. Again, I have to do a little bit more research, trying to kind of just to inform myself specifically on the distribution on it. Either way, not to go on a rant, this series here, I think is a 1978. I think these were hand cut, and I've seen the full album also on eBay before. Musicians over here, we have Bob Marley. Then we have the Eagles, which might be one of their rookies unless they have a Joe Pye, which good luck finding dating on those. And then we also have Boston, which I think is their only card. There are those. I've seen the Eagles, never seen Boston, and obviously never seen Bob Marley. Band I listen to all the time, and this is from the 2002 Coachella set. I've shown the Foo Fighters before. I was lucky enough to be able to finally find the Queens of the Stone Age. Problem is, Queens of the Stone Age are a lot tougher to find. The print run on these were based off of how popular the band were. So I don't know how to pronounce that, but whoever that, I think it's like a DJ or something like that. Most popular, down here, less popular. So less of these Queens of the Stone Age cards out there. And I love their music, man. I listen to it all the time, especially when I travel. So Queens of the Stone Age, right over there. 1928. So Einstein, obviously the most popular, but a few other over here. And I believe all these guys won Nobel Prizes, but I could be wrong. And remember him from calculus. Fun times back over there. Calc 1, Calc 2, Calc 3, Diffie Q, Physics 1, Physics 2, Physics 3. Used to do math competitions. I'm a nerd. Okay. Not to talk too much about that side of things. Let's get into some other really, really cool cards. Joe Wolcott, N310 Mayo Cup plugs. Again, not sure dating. Right now, Hobby says 1890. Still think it's 1894, based off of also the baseball and also the football sets. But I'm going to do that research one day to determine for sure. Black Sabbath. I know Ozzy just retired. I picked this up at great timing. This is the highest graded is an 8. Maybe there's a 9 out there. Who knows? But either way, beautiful example over here. Baseball-wise, Joe Morgan rookie. Nice, really, really, really nice looking 4 on that. I would not have given that a 4. Probably would have given it a 5. But I can't tell what's going on over there specifically. And maybe that's the reason why it got a 4. But it's all the way at the edge of the case. Then we have a 1963 Frank Robinson. Little corner ding over there, but that's why I got a 5 on this one. And also some staining and stuff like that on the back. But not chipped really badly like a lot of these other 63s are. And then a 64 Rose and a 5. All right, history time. So I bought 5 of these cards. These are Red Sun cigarettes. They're produced in New Orleans, and this is a very, very tough regional set for boxing cards. A few different Hall of Famers in there. The most expensive one is the Jack Johnson. Today, if it went to auction, well over 5 figures in any specific grade. I can't afford that. People that have the Jack Johnson aren't selling, but I've been able to pick up others and upgrade throughout time. So these are all upgrades within the set. I'm not building the set by any means. I'm just going after a few different boxers. But go through each of these and kind of give you a little bit of history. Stanley Ketchel, he actually died at like age 24. He was going to be one of the best boxers, and I can't remember if he got assassinated or murdered or what the case is. So it's a shame. But either way, kind of a cool history on this card. You have Jim Jeffries. He actually fought Jack Johnson in one of the most important fights of the 1900s. Has way earlier cards, but this is an extremely scarce one. 1/5, especially because of the big crease. This Abe Attell has a really, really cool history. So Abe Attell, really, really good boxer. In fact, good enough to make the Hall of Fame. But that's not what makes this card valuable. The reason why it's valuable is the baseball connection. Abe Attell helped with the Black Sox scandal. So I know there's a lot of people that collect the baseball players of the Black Sox, but Abe Attell was a boxer and was part of that illegal ring. This got a 3. I used to have a 1. I ended up giving that to Steven. He helps run the channel. You guys seen him, the personal collection live. So he has the 1. I have a 3. Okay, so even more history about the set. Obviously, this was produced in New Orleans in the early 1900s. Racism was really present. The black boxers in this set are almost impossible to find. Most of them have pop reports of less than 5. In fact, it takes sometimes over 10 years for any of these to surface or sell at an auction or anything like that. Well, I was lucky to find 2 of them. So let's start off with Jeanette, Hall of Fame boxer. Obviously has creases over here. This is cut on that side of things. I wouldn't say cut, but ripped off on that side of things. I think there's 4 of these that are out there. You can complain about how bad shape this card is in, but you're not going to find another. And if so, it's going to take quite a while to acquire one. Langford, ESPN calls the greatest boxer you have never heard of. Many would consider him a top 10 to top 15 boxer of all time, and some even consider him better than Jack Johnson. But Jack Johnson was the Mickey Mantle boxers. Very, very popular. Sam Langford was not as popular. This is graded at 2, but this is the 2nd best card in this set. This is the 4th best card. I need to get the Gans, which that's going to be impossible, less than 5, and the Jack Johnson, which again, good luck finding one of those. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.